This month's readings are by Rev Raymont Anderson, PhD. He's someone known to Creative Life Spiritual Center. When we used to have our soul sessions, he was one of our guests on there. So he's actually very familiar with us, and we're very familiar with him. So I have the pleasure of reading his writings for the Science of Mind magazine daily guides for the month of February 2026. And here we are, if my mouse will behave. Okay, so who is he, for those who don't know? Well, this is his own description of himself, or maybe somebody else's. He says his reputation is as a movie and a comic book nerd, and that's quite well known. He's got a passion for exploring the metaphysical aspects of these modern myths, i.e. in movie and comics, and the power behind the stories we create and live. His sense of humor, unique approach, use of spiritual practices, and ability to simplify complex metaphysical and spiritual ideas, making them understandable and applicable to everyday life. Well, these are among the qualities people especially appreciate about him. And he's also the founding minister of the Center for Spiritually Integrated Arts. And there he feels inspired and energized to manifest this beloved community and also to elevate new thought in general and CSL in particular as household names in the world that genuinely works for and offers powerful healing to all. And I can tell you he's also very down to earth. He says, embracing possibility has been a part of my life for most of my life. In my early years, I did it unconsciously, then later very intentionally. Most of the time, my embrace happened in life-affirming ways, but sometimes it did not. This month, I'm inspired to share what I've learned about what it means to embrace possibility amid grief, trauma, pain, fear, joy, and love, and to explore beyond the beyond as we embody it through the Japanese concept of shuhari, also known as shuhari. And the title to this whole series in the daily guides, he's chosen it's like fairly big hillsides with different colored, multicolored trees on them, from like deep blue to gold to red. And he's quoting for his monthly guides from Johann Wolfgang von Goethe. It's a very well-known quote, and it's one that I love. What you can do, or dream you can do, begin it. Boldness has genius, power, and magic in it. So that, my friends, is a pretty good start. So here we go. And the first reading for the month is called Embrace and Be Embraced. And the quote is from Sanabar Khan, 1,000 Flamingos. So I had not heard of Sanabar Khan, so I looked her up, and she's actually a poet from Mumbai, and she writes in a mixed poetic and just general style. I think it's called prose poetry or something like that. And the book 1,000 Flamingos, well, I also looked at what the whole book was about, and the book focuses on. It came according to this after a long period of time when she had writer's block, and then it all started flowing again. And it contains like the magic, the beauty of every day, resilience in starting over, spirituality and connection. And the quote he chose is, I had embraced you long before I hugged you. I had embraced you long before I hugged you. And what she's meaning there is, and I double checked on this, that you were known to each other at a soul level or an emotional level long before you ever physically hugged each other. So when you feel that connection with somebody and you hug them, You have known them long before that on a soul level. Oh no, what are we doing here? All right, here we go. And Ernest Holmes, of course, he's always a little bit more obtuse. He says, when love's activity is no longer confined to the littleness that restricts but extends to everything and everyone, then we shall hear its songs sung throughout the circuits of our lives. So in other words, when we expand our idea of love, the way that we love, then it's going to go through everything. And that is in The Spiritual Universe and You, page 56, paragraph 2. And this is Raymont. And he says, we can easily look up the definition of embrace, and we can know that it means to accept, to hug, to hold, to enclose, or to envelop something, whether it's an idea, an opportunity, or a person. And it can be done willingly or enthusiastically. When you are embraced by someone you love, he says, what does it feel like deep inside your soul? When a pet in its own way embraces you, what is that feeling at the core of your being? And the ones of you who've had pets and have got on with them really well, and it's something magic there, right? I mean, there just is. It's on a different plane than embracing a person that you're in love with, right? To embrace and be embraced is more than just hugging. It is experiential oneness. How about that? It's the feeling of being at home, God with God, love with love. He says, today we began our exploration of embracing possibility. And for now, he says, I invite you to consider all the ways that we embrace and are embraced by the magnificence of this thing called life, capital L. Does your morning cup of tea or coffee embrace you? Does the birdsong late in the day embrace you? Do you embrace the meal that nourishes you, offering gratitude for all the people who made it possible? It says music, art, prayer, dance, theatre, poetry, and so much more swirl around us daily in countless ways. It says they're right there to embrace our bodies, our minds, our hearts, and our souls, to invite us into the space of fully embodying the divine, which he calls the ultimate embrace. As Ernest Holmes put it, how important it is that each one of us, in our own simple way, shall live from God to God, with God, in God, and to each other. So when we treat everything as a wonderful expression of the divine, including ourselves, then life starts to take on a different meaning. It has to. Okay? So that is Reverend Raymont's opening for this month. So, what was it again? Remember? Embrace or be embraced, which is kind of cool. And I've got to look up some more about Sanabar Khan. When I first did a little bit of research on it using Gemini, it got it all wrong. So my advice to you is you may love and embrace artificial intelligence, but don't rely on it entirely. Go fact check it because it makes mistakes. This is not the first time it's made a mistake. When I first looked up 1,000 Flamingos in Sanabar Khan, it said, no, that's not it. That's not the right passage. It said, oh, it's 1,000 mornings. Well, nope. Gemini was wrong. And ChatGPT is no better than all the others. You have to really fact check them. So when you go and research something, yes, embrace artificial intelligence, but embrace it with the knowledge that it can make mistakes. And not only can, it does make mistakes. But going back to the human thing, that truly when we start to embrace life and we start to embrace everything is an expression of the divine. And Reverend Jesse talked a little bit about that this morning. Then life takes on a different meaning. You see things differently. You enjoy that sunset more. You enjoy the birds more when you're walking. You enjoy your partner more. You enjoy your animals more, because everything starts to just be that expression of the divine, and you feel it in your soul. So that is my thought for the day. I'll be back tomorrow, of course. I am the holy embrace of the universe, from God to God, with God, in God, and to each other, because everything is an expression of God. And I'm knowing this for each and every person who's listening to this now, that you, my friend, are an expression of the divine. And always know that you are precious, you are wanted, you are needed. Go express your divine self in the world around and help make the world a better place. And I'm knowing that this is the truth. And I release it in gratitude, calling it done, and so it is. My colleague, Reverend Lisa, of course, will be on Created by Spiritual Center's Facebook page tomorrow at about 9:15. And oh yeah, there was a new lady at our center this morning who was asking where could she see some of the previous stuff that Reverend Jesse referred to. You can go on Created by Spiritual Center's Facebook page. There is a limit, I think, now to how long Facebook will hold that stuff. But if it vanishes from there, you can go to YouTube and look up Created by Spiritual Center. And I don't think there's a limit on all the past, services there. So until next time, namaste.